So, according to Freud, voyeurism is like a form of sadism. And so a woman must be punished, so she either dies or she ends up in a coupling, so she ends up married. What example are we using? SpiderMan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Gwen dies very dramatically.
Like, most films have this example.
Yeah.
Because, like, females are always either dying or
married.
living
Yeah.
happily ever after.
Yeah.
Like, near enough every Disney film as well. But the Spider-Man's like has it like there in your face.
Quite literally in your face. And you know she doesn't have to die, but she also dies after she tells Peter that, oh, I'm moving to London, I'm gonna like do what she wants. She's got an education, she's going to further it.
As soon as she's progressing
away
and
from
then she
yeah.
might become better than him.
Yeah, they kill her off.
Because she's a threat.
Yeah, it's like a radical man can walk away, but a radical woman can't, and she's portrayed as a radical woman even though she's not actually.
As soon as she starts becoming a threat, she's
kind
being
of
better than
punished
him.
to, I don't know, when they kill her.
Yeah, and
Now let her become better, I don't know.
yeah, but she dies as a result of his actions, not hers.
Yeah.
Because the guy, is it Max? Well, the bad guy uses her to get to the guy, rather than using her just because of her.
And like we said, she's even when she dies and she's kidnapped, she's thrown around.
Yeah.
She still looks perfect.
Yeah, she's still got her makeup.
Like she hits her head on the floor.
She is that blood, like
Yeah.
a little bit of her nose, and
Yeah,
she
right at the
slashed
end.
her head.
Yeah.
And
Hair's
it's gonna be-
perfect.
Everything's perfect.
Clothes aren't dirty.
No, and they fall so perfectly as well, as if she's still a pristine
So that
doll.
could even be an example of the fetish one.
fetishistic
Because
scopophilia.
because like she's still perfect.
Sexualized, in a way.
But for that, which one are we using the example of Baywatch?
Yeah, I think Baywatch would be a good example of that because everyone is sexualized, not just the men or the women, but the women are slightly more.
Yeah.
But they all only swim.
They swim.
Yeah, in swimsuits and
And
even
it's
their
red.
dresses. Yeah.
Like the colour that the women wear mainly is red.
Red.
Which is like
And red is like
Yeah, a
sexual
sexualized
color.
colour.
And Zac Efron, the actor, when he was like dressed
In a woman's dress.
Yeah, his disguise was to dress as a woman.
The short dress. That's all women wear.
And like
dress.
short hair and makeup and the sunglasses, like it was very exaggerated.
Yeah.
And there's the scenes where she's the woman, the blonde-haired woman, I can't remember her name, is running, and they're like, oh, it's like she's always running in slow motion, so everything's moving.
And like she's got like a zip on her suit.
Yeah.
And it's like slightly open.
Yeah, so it's like it could just fall off any second type of
And I
thing.
think the scene when that scene with Zac Efron and the other
I can't remember her name, but I know the one with the darker haired girl.
Yeah, when she
I'm gonna
tells
find
her that he looks at her.
Yeah, he says he meets her and he's trying to like flirt with her, and she's like, you're just staring at my boobs, aren't you? And he's like, well, now I am, as if like he wasn't looking before, but because she's sexualized herself, she's okay. He's okay to look.
She's giving him a pass.
Yeah, almost.
You'll get a key.
Her name.
It's like
The key is these ones.
they're not naked,
No.
but like it's quite sexualized anyway.
Yeah. And it's like you, in a really weird way, you expect it from these male characters like Zac Efron and Dwayne Johnson are known for their physical like look.
Strength,
Yeah, their strength and the way they look. Whereas people like the other three characters whose names I don't know. But the fact that I don't know them says a lot as well, because it just goes past you. You just look at the film like, oh, that's a very pretty woman, a very sexualized woman, and how the comparative between the men being half naked was fine, but the women were half naked, but they were sexualized women. They were wearing very tight clothes the whole way, even their dresses. Like when they go to the parties,
the makeup and
they look a certain way.
But I don't know if you
Go on.
if you defend, if you're to counter, what's the word? Counteract? Is that counter argue that point? You know, wouldn't you say Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron were kind of sexualizing that point?
I think they are at points, but I think the female part of it is more obvious and more in your face.
Yeah.
And it's more
I think
like
more when he's like dressing like a woman.
As a woman, I think that's when it's more.
because one of the characters make a comment or something. Like he says that like it's a disguise as a woman, and he says isn't it a bit too short or something?
Yeah.
Saying that women only wear short dresses.
Yeah. or that there's a limit to how short your dress can be before it's too short.
Yeah.
And an example of neither, I think Moana is a good one.
Moana's good one, because there's not many films that I found when I was doing my
Same.
research, that there was not many films that I could find.
I think because Moana, in the sense of voyeurism, well, Freud's version of it, there's no actual punishment because she manages to survive and she wins and she gets to save Tafiti, and it's her who saves it, not the man. Yeah, she has to go and save her. There's no massive radicalization, there's no coupling, there's no love. I think the only concept of love interest would be her people.
Yeah,
Like
in terms of like,
there's no romantic heterosexual version of it, and there's no sexualization of her really, or any of the characters.
because her costume could be argued to be sexual,
Yeah.
but it's more cultural.
I think it's more. I would argue it's more cultural because all of the women are wearing very similar, and it's not like she's got loads of skin on her. It's very common to that.
And it's not like, even with like her top, it's not like with
It's
the
not really
Baywatch,
short,
it's
is it?
showed a lot of cleavage.
Yeah, whereas that was very covered.
Yeah, it's tight.
And I think it was more representative of the culture she was representing rather than a sexualized version.
Because like when I was trying to look for an example, I could find them for like past 10 years.
Yeah.
But recently there was like nothing, so I think that shows that now we're getting more like used to the fact that women get sexually
sexualized.
affected.
Yeah, I think we're sort of, by watching them and not saying anything, we're immune and we're letting it happen as a society and a culture.
Because before I was thinking maybe like Matilda, but it's too old.
Yeah.
Because stuff like that, they don't have it. Like it's just balanced stuff.
Yeah.
It's sort of like as if they're inputting the narrative is more important.
Yeah, but now it's more like
Or the characters' sexualization.
Narratives to attract the viewers. And
Yeah,
I think it is for the
definitely.
viewers,
Even with Disney films, like I think it was Cinderella we said, that's full of voyeurism and fetishistic scopophilia.
Because like she's a slave, yet her hair's perfect, her dress is perfect,
everything.
especially the more recent one.
Yeah, the live action version. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other examples.
So we've got Moana, Baywatch, and
Spider-Man, Amazing
but it's
SpiderMan.
not for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, see with Wonder Woman, I looked into it recently, and apparently it was directed by a woman, or there was some feminine influence, which is why it's supposed to be very different. But I've not actually seen it. No, I've not watched it. But like from the research, it was like that's why it's such a different movie, is because it was produced by or directed by a female. So it's like
but even if
Yeah, but
I don't know
she
if it's
was
a
still
heroic movie and things like that, she still wears.
yeah, she does. She's very fitted.
Yeah.
But then I think the other argument to that was, well, she's following the comic books.
The tradition of the comic book.
Yeah, because that's what she wears in the comic books. But then I don't know because I've not seen it. I'm like unsure.
No, but in the film, like she's even the way guys. Have you seen the film?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
No.
Like the way men look at her.
Yeah.
Like
Still sees her like.
they still look at her like, oh man,
Like
this
if
girl.
you type in Wonder Woman costume or like Wonder Woman fancy dress, it's all really sexual.
Yeah, I've seen that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I believe like Wonder Woman is probably the most sexualized fictional character of all time. Like
Yeah, her and Catwoman. Like,
Yeah, her and Catwoman.
those female superheroes who aren't seen as main characters, like in the Avengers, Scarlett Johansson. Her outfit is basically skin tight.
Well, I did a piece on that for my A-levels in media, and she's really sexualized.
Yeah, she is. Like her hair, her makeup, her outfits are so tight. Yeah. And it was, I think I watched an interview with her actually, which is completely irrelevant, but
and she has no powers.
Yeah, she doesn't actually have any powers.
Yeah.
Besides, being controlling, and even in the torture scene, where they're training her, she's wearing high heels and a dress, and she manages to, beat them all up in high heels and a dress. But her hair is still flawless, and she's like, oh, next time make it harder. And it's like a little bit too much.
Yeah. So I think it's easier to find examples of sexualization of women. So like the fetish.
Yeah.
And I can't say the other word.
It's okay.
And then the one where like women die or get married. It's harder to find an example where it's not
None of
present.
them. Yeah. I think even if you like try and find one that doesn't have it, there's always going to be hints of it and the underlying kind of narrative.
That's because it gets more viewers.
And nowadays, it's
that's
more
what they care
hard to
about.
find.
And mainly, like, the media industry is led by men.
This is it.
So that's like, they know what they want to see,
Yeah.
and they direct it towards
Yeah,
that.
because that's like
Yeah.
Freud's idea of the phallus, isn't it?
Yeah.
They do it for the public.
They do it for that?
Public.
Yeah, the public want to see that because they don't want to see men being reduced.
Yeah.
But Preston feels very like,
Women are a threat to men.
yeah, women are apparently, according to Freud, are a threat to men. And yeah, because actually in Moana you can see a bit of scopophilia, but it contradicts it because her dad is trying to force her to not go traveling, to save the world, to stick to her little island, to look after the people there. But she defies that and she's like, no, I'm gonna go against your wishes, and she still goes. So he tries to control her,
But it doesn't
but
happen.
it doesn't work. But then Maui comes in as like a secondary character who has not control but has like a guidance for her rather than I think in Cinderella you have like the godmother who's the guidance, so it's a woman character guiding a woman, but it's different in Moana because it's a man guiding a woman,
Yeah.
like a young girl, as if she needs guidance from
And
a
they
man.
still, it doesn't have like the whole love aspect.
Yeah, no, it's
because
like
they don't have a love interest.
yeah, it's more of like I need to look after you kind of.
Yeah.
No, he almost plays the role of a woman.
Yeah,
Like he
kinda
nurtures her,
Yeah.
which is really weird.
Yeah.
Like he looks
But
after her and saves
Wasn't
her.
I think that's-
wasn't she mainly nurtured by her grandmother?
Yeah, her grandmother was a master, but then after her grandma dies,
Oh.
sorry,
Oh, no.
she dies.
So the female character dies.
The female character does die, but she's not a lead character.
Yeah.
So it's like Maui takes her role as a man, but he's a
It's like
demigod.
they can't get away from it, like the film industry can't get away from it completely.
Yeah,
Because the film wouldn't work for the
Mm-hmm.
audience, but they're trying to.
yeah, as if they're touching on it, but not quite. It's like a stepping stone.
Yeah. So we have our 3 films:
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Baywatch, and Moana.
I'm Moana, yeah.